Hey guys, Disliter Magic here. A little bit of a sore throat for a bit here, but not too bad. I'm not actually sick, it's just allergies. But nothing will stop me from sharing one of my own personal favorite overlooked but awesome cards. Now, this was very recently in Standard, and pretty much nobody played it. So that's the overlooked part. And the awesome part is, well, just simply what it does, just sheer power. I mean, it's good. Now, this wouldn't exactly be first in line to put in a modern deck because of the speed, the power, and the removal level, but in some kind of slower format or lower powered format or whatever, oh my gosh, this should be put in basically every commander deck ever made. Also, the foil of it looks exceptionally, insanely awesome. I love this card. Also, this actually used to be one of the primary cards in my banana deck. I am talking about the uncommon M15 equipment card. And this is the only chance you're going to get to guess it. Rogue's Gloves. I love the name. I love the artwork. I probably love the flavor text and I haven't even read it yet. Oh my god, it's like some Mother Goose crap. Professional pilferers prefer proper preparation. I don't know like who came up with that, but it's kind of funny and weird. All right. So you get it out for 2, pretty reasonable. And then you can equip it for 2, also pretty reasonable, especially when you got to move it around, because I guarantee you the creature with this on it is going to get blown up. Whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. Repetitive card draw triggers. Triggered abilities that draw a card more than once. Those are some of the most powerful in the entire game because card advantage is huge in general in a vacuum. And if you can just outcast them, it almost doesn't even matter if they're running like removal or counter spells or whatever because you're just going to flood them. Even in a deck that's like super fast creature rush win on turn 5, if it backfires, you're going to need to draw, twice as many cards as the other person. Now, the only drawbacks are, okay, it doesn't give a boost to the creature. I mean, a +1/+0 at least would have been nice. But I think just drawing a card over and over and over, it's kind of good enough. Now, the other slight disadvantage about this card is it's kind of borderline one of the trap cards, as I call them, in all of Magic. It's cards that say, if I'm already clearly winning the game, win even more. Like stuff that says for every creature on the battlefield. That's my favorite prefix because if you have 9 creatures on the battlefield, you're probably gonna win. You're probably winning the game. If you have 2 creatures on the battlefield or 0, you're probably losing the game, and now this card won't do anything because it will not help turn the game around. I hate cards like this. So this is like, I'm already consistently dealing damage to the opponent. So obviously they're going to be, at 0 life at some point. Why do I need more cards? Well, because they're going to actively try to stop you. So it's not completely, I can't really think of any specific card example. I don't know, maybe Convoke in general, just the mechanic. That's actually not a very good example, but just anything where it's like, I'm obviously winning. Oh, now I can just bomb you and win 1 turn earlier. Those are just useless waste of space in your deck. This is more like I'm ensuring the victory over the long term. And it also has the lightning rod effect, where you put this on a creature, and now that creature is probably going to get blown up by the next removal spell, just because of the fact that it's wearing the Rogue's Gloves. People are legitimately that stupid, considering you can move this around. I mean, you can move it around, like you can swing with this, and then if you have 2 mana left at the end of your turn, during your second main phase, move it to another creature who didn't swing. And then obviously you can't go to a second combat phase and you don't get a blocking bonus, but now they're on a different creature for next turn. The same goes for if the creature got blown up that was wearing it. So, but people are like, oh, I have to stop you from drawing cards. Well, unless you could blow up the dang gloves, you're not really going to get very far. So it does induce people into making dumb mistakes, and it kind of makes them waste their removal, even actual enchantment or artifact removal, earlier than they would normally want to. They want to sit on it until, your Torrential Gearhulk or something like that comes out. Now, I think where these especially shine is the fact that they only cost 2, then they're 2 to equip, so you can split turns that way. You throw it on like a 1/1 flyer for 1, or like a 1/1 unblockable for 1. There's plenty of those in the Theros block. Throw it on one of those and you've got cards all game. I mean, until they waste a removal spell on your flyer. And then you'd have to move this to a creature that maybe might get blocked. I mean, I think that's kind of logic. But if they have to waste like a Doomblade or, something in Modern, some kill spell, whatever, on like a 1/1 flyer. Like that's funny to me. So that's why I absolutely love these gloves. But also, they're one of the best draw triggers repetitively that I've ever seen. Now, if a draw trigger gets too good, what they do is they add to the end of it and then discard a card. So it's like at the beginning of your turn or during your draw step, draw an additional card and then ditch one because that's insane. You don't have to do anything. And I think that costs like 3 or 4 mana to get out. Monastery Siege. And boy, are there a lot of effects that say draw a card then discard one, especially in black right now in standard. I could only really compare this to like military intelligence and maybe like Bident of Thassa. As far as cards that I know that repetitively draw stuff reliably with a really good passive trigger. And this is arguably a little bit simpler, a little bit more flexible than military intelligence. And Bident of Thassa is just a lot more mana. So this is just so good because those are two really, really famous cards. Okay, it's one really famous card and one that nobody played, but whatever. In fact, OBA number 57B is officially military intelligence. That card is really damn good. So hopefully you guys got inspired to throw one of the cards I mentioned into your commander deck because, well, this is pretty much just the commander card series at this point. If it was already insanely good in Modern, it would probably be in Modern in a deck you've heard of. So yeah, this is pretty much just commander. But that's why I made this series, plus just to show off really unusual cards that I thought were cool. So yeah, a lot of people say, hey, I saw this and now I immediately want to put it in my deck, thanks. So that is totally awesome, and I'll see you guys next video.